I'll pick up Binzer in 10 minutes. I'm putting him on the runaway twins case.
You have a call here that seems important. Lexi Gardner wants to see you right away.
Lexi Gardner. Lady G? Did she say why?
No, she just said it's important and she'd call you back.
Well, listen, tell her I'm on a case. I'm trying to find 2 runaway twins. They've been missing for 3 days and their father's going nuts. I'll call her tomorrow.
Lexi Gardner?
Yes?
Dan's on a case and he said he'd reach you in the morning.
We'll reach him again. Explain that it's important, please. Tell Tana I have to talk to him. I don't want to talk to the police.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Gardner, but he's on a case. He said he'd call you in the morning.
Well, there's got to be some way to reach him.
Lexi's boyfriend found her dead early this morning. Dan, have you got any idea why she tried to hire you?
No. Bella, I didn't even know her that well. Just to say hello once in a while.
I'm curious. Why didn't you go see her last night?
Bella, I try to stay away from call girl cases. I mean, it's not the girls, it's the reason they usually want to hire me. I mean, most of them spend damn little money on themselves, but just let their pimps get in trouble and they'll spend a fortune to bail them out. I just hate it.
Of course, Lexi never had a pimp. Now, when she first came to this town, she had very respectable friends, and lately, she's been living with a respectable writer.
Yeah, but the in-between years, she worked the strip as Lady G.
Now, listen to me, Dan. You couldn't have done anything about what happened last night, so you stop blaming yourself. That girl was killed within minutes of the time she called me.
Doesn't help, Bella.
How you doing, Dan?
Hi. Excuse me. Are you Dan Tanner?
Yes, I am.
Well, now that you got my attention, who in the hell are you?
This is Brad Thomas, Lexi's boyfriend.
You turned Lexi down. You might have been able to save her. She needed you.
I'm sorry about Lexi. But why didn't she need you? What? Not even a smile?
There's somebody here to see you, Mrs. Gardner, Lexi's mother.
Mrs. Gardner?
Oh, yes, how do you do? I hope I'm not intruding, but somebody told me my daughter tried to hire you.
Yes, she did.
Have you any idea why?
No. Mrs. Gardner, I'm sorry about Lexi. Have you talked to the police?
Yes, shortly after I arrived.
Well, they're a good department. They'll find out about your daughter.
Will the police be really that concerned about the death of a prostitute? Yes, Mr. Tanner. I know about that part of my daughter's life. When she first told me, I was shocked and ashamed for both of us. And I still have that feeling, but I've just learned to live with it. But I couldn't stop loving my daughter. I gave life to that body, and I rocked it, and I held it. Oh, I need your help, Mr. Tanner. If I have to, I'll beg for it.
Well, Mrs. Gardner, the police will find your daughter's murderer.
I want more than just my daughter's murderer. There. That's Lexi at 18. 12 years ago when she left to become a singer. 12 years ago. You wouldn't believe she's only 30, would you?
Mrs. Gardner, what do you want me to do?
I want to know about her. I want to find out what happened to that 18-year-old child that became what she was at 30. Please.
Well, I'll do what I can.
Thank you.
Mrs. Gardner, where are you staying?
At the Desert Inn. Mr. Roth arranged a suite there.
You know Philip Roth?
Well, yes, he phoned right after the police did. He was a friend of Alexandria's. He flew me here in his private plane.
Roth was a friend of Lexi's.
Yes. Bye.
All right, tell me, what's so sneaky about sending a bereaved mother to visit a private investigator?
Why didn't you just call and tell me you were going to send her to me? That's all I'm saying.
I don't like to argue in the morning.
Okay, give me a clue. Why all the interest in Lexi Gardner?
You're a detective. You find out. That's your job.
Slick.
Now, push open that door. I'll send for the owner.
You're the owner.
I know. I want to see if you know. Push.
Oh, Mr. Roth, I had a hunch you wouldn't break our appointment.
Yes, of course. I'm 2 hours late and he's still playing hunches. I hope his wife hides his commission check. Thank you. Please, after you.
Thank you very much.
This back seat comfortably seats 4. Yes, of course. So sorry. Thank you. Thank you.
Not bad, huh?
It's very nice.
You'd like to watch some television? We'd like a drink? Want me to make you some dinner?
Oh, well, no. I like my TV next to the bed. It's more comfy that
Oh,
way.
yes, quite so.
All the accessories work to perfection, Mr. Roth.
They certainly do. He's a little pushy, isn't he?
Yes. Slick, I want to talk about Lexi Gardner.
Look, will you hold on a second? I'll get to you. Just wait a minute. I'll tell you all about it, all right?
Something wrong, Mr. Roth?
Somebody's been using it as a diner.
Oh, no.
I also saw a lot of ashes on the floor.
I thought I gave it a homing effect
You won't
myself.
find anything like that on the next
Listen,
one, Mr.
Slick,
Roth.
we
I
talk
promise
for
you.
1 minute,
I vacuumed
please.
it myself, you see.
It's too expensive. This model idles at 2 gallons a minute. Shall we go on?
Oh, please allow me.
After you.
All right, talk, but softly. I want to hear the engine purring.
I want to know what your connection is with Lady G.
You like gray?
I love gray. What's the connection?
I've got 27 gray suits, 27 gray pairs of trousers.
Is that right? Well,
yes.
Listen, why don't you buy 27 limos, and then you'll have matching outfits. Now, what's the connection?
You don't give up at all, do you?
I certainly don't.
All right. Lady G, Lexi. We were friends.
Friends.
Yes, really good friends. I knew her a long time.
You'll love this next one, Mr. Roth.
I can't afford to love anything that expensive, unless, of course, it does housework. These are brand new cars, right?
Why, yes, of course.
Wrong. Don't you know that when you drive a brand new car around the block, it depreciates maybe 20%?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes. Besides, that's a blue car, right?
That's blue, yes.
Yeah, well, blue burns a lot of oil.
It does.
And gray burns a lot of gasoline. But I don't mind that in a used car. So I tell you what, sweep out the first one,
Yes.
okay? Give me a year's supply of free gasoline for the second one.
1 year.
Yes, and you can tell your used car manager I'll take all 3.
But we don't have a used car manager.
Make this deal and you'll be the used car manager.
I will?
Sure.
Oh, Mr. Roth, how can I thank you? I'll never forget you for this. Never. Wait till I tell my wife. Thank you, Mr. Roth.
You were saying?
Slick, information. I want some information. If I don't get it, I'm going to pass the word around that you're an easy mark for all your old girlfriends.
Lexi was a good friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? What did her mother have to say?
Just some names.
Try a guy named Eddie Banning.
Eddie Banning, the singer?
He's rehearsing at the Landmark Hotel.
Yeah,
Yeah, how could I forget Amy? Eyes as blue as the Nebraska sky. That's why I chose her to be the teen queen.
Oh, you make so many appearances at county fairs. I just didn't believe you'd remember her.
I remember everybody, darling, everybody. I'll sign right there for you, okay?
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yes, my pleasure. Thank you. Now, give my love to your niece.
Eddie. I need a few minutes.
Well, you got a few minutes.
Lexi Gardner was murdered last night.
I know, I was stunned.
I understand you and she went back a long way together.
All right, take it back. Move it back. Hey, listen, Dan, you don't have to hedge with me. I mean, we were lovers years ago. I never tried to hide it. Why all the questions?
I'm trying to put together a picture of Lexi from the time she arrived here until last night. How'd you guys meet?
Well, one night she waited for me to come off stage. 18 years old. Huh. Looks 16. She had this notebook full of song lyrics. She asked me to read them. The preacher couldn't refuse that face.
So how were the lyrics?
Take it out, Charlie. Yeah, the lyrics. Well, they were like her. They were confused but beautiful.
So she wanted to be a singer, huh?
Uh-huh.
Shape of voice?
Yeah, soft and whispery, but you had no pitch. And that's something you either have or you haven't got.
Are we getting shorter?
Listen, I have to leave for Tahoe in about an hour. Couldn't we continue this when I get back?
Just one last question.
Yeah.
How did it end?
Well, it's a tired story. I was career-oriented. I had a chance to tour. I didn't think she should come. I stayed away too long. She learned tennis with Lou Spitz.
The tennis pro.
Dan, are you on this case?
For as long as it takes to nail whoever did it. Yeah, I don't need a helicopter to get out of here, do I?
All right, take him up. I need $10,000 cash right away. Go upstairs and get it from the cage.
Oh, no. Eddie, please. You're not in trouble with a young chick again. You promised me no more young chicks.
And I kept my promise. There's someone out of my past. She's come back to haunt me. Now go up and get the money. I'll tell you what to do with it. Timmy, we've been together now 10 years. I need your help. Somehow Tanner's got to be bought off.
Tanner.
I'd like to meet with you and discuss Lexi Gardner.
Where and when?
The edge of the vacant lot off Maryland Parkway in Flamingo.
Metropolitan Police, Sergeant Archer.
How about a little pity for a poor, lonely man?
I'm fresh out. What kind of trouble you in?
I don't know yet, Bella. I want you to hang in on the phone and listen in.
Dan? Dan? Dan, I don't have all day to spend on this phone. What's going on? Answer me. Dan. Answer me, Dan. I don't have all day to spend on this phone. Do you want any assistance? What's happening over there?
I want you to know that there's no funny business from my end.
Bella, it looks like the Lone Ranger's back in town.
Can I put my hands down? I have to reach into my pocket.
Sure. Just do it very, very slowly.
There's $10,000 in that envelope. Forget about Lexi Gardner.
You come right to the point, don't you, masked man?
Well, that's what they told me to do. Make the offer. If you accept, fine. If you don't, no hard feelings. Except, they told me to tell you that a lot of people can get hurt if you don't.
Someone's already been hurt. Very badly. Now, who told you to tell me to make the offer?
I'm sorry, I can't tell you.
Bella, how much for a headlight on a brand new LTD?
Don't do it. I mean it, Dan. Don't do it.
How much for the cheapest cremation? Or how much to weave a rather large hole in a suit coat? Or would you rather save me the bill and tell me who told you to make the call?
Huh?
I said, tell me who told you to make the offer.
Eddie Banning.
Banning. Thank you very much. Now get out of here.
It's me, Dan. Spencer called in this weird message. He's found the twins at the DI casino.
I'm practically there, B.
Paging Mr. Cohen, Mr. Bert Cohen.
Hi. Hi, how are you? What are you doing?
I want a stakeout.
A ladies' room? Spencer, we're not looking for the tidy bowl man. We're looking for runaway twins.
It's fine. You don't want to hear me out? Don't hear me out.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
It's okay. It's okay.
Come on, what is it?
Look, we know the girls were seen in this casino, right?
That's right.
The lights, the excitement, a couple of drinks, and sooner or later, they have to go to the powder room.
I know the process.
Well, if I see the same woman go in there twice in a 5-minute period, I know that she is them. Hmm?
You know, I would never have thought of that myself in a million years. One question.
What?
How do you know that identical twins have identical nature codes? Just think about that.
Mr. Tanner. Your office told me you were over here. I want to apologize. Buy you a drink?
No thanks. One punch a day from you is enough.
Lexi's mother said she hired you. I want to help in any way I can.
Well, I can use all the help I can get. Mr. Thomas, did Lexi ever discuss any problems she might have had as Lady G?
We never talked about that period in her life.
Well, did she ever talk about the other men in her life before she became Lady G?
There were only 3. It's Singer, Eddie Banning.
Lou Spitz, the tennis pro. Who's the third?
Can't remember his name. I think he was a contractor.
Any bad feelings?
She talked as if she thought very highly of all of them.
Yeah. You found the body, right? Where were you that night, Mr. Thomas?
I was at the Regis. I worked there. I do my writing there.
Well, thanks very much for all your help.
Anytime.
B, check on Lexi's known addresses for the last 12 years. See if you can find one that ties into a contractor some way.
Okay.
Thanks. Talk to you later. Oh, excuse me.
My pleasure, Billy.
Hi. Well, it was nice bumping into you.
Might we bump into each other again?
Well, you never can tell.
By the way, do you play?
Yes.
You know, Lexi worked the snack bar. That's where she met that tennis schnook, Lou Spitz, just after he came back from Europe.
Yeah. Well, he seems to be a bit of a mystery man, Bambi. You have any background on him?
Well, he was a hotshot tennis pro before he dropped out.
What do you mean dropped out?
Well, he had it all. He was like king of the European tour. Then he discovered Zen. Or it discovered him. Anyway, he found the guru, and they went off together and sat on the top of a mountain for 5 years.
Sounds very cozy. You know where I can find him?
Yeah, I got his card. Give him a call. There you go.
Thanks, baby.
How well did you know Lexi Gardner, Mr. Spitz?
I've got nothing but good memories about her. When we first got together, Lexi was just becoming a woman. Don't think I didn't help it along. You got any ideas who got to her?
I was hoping you did.
Oh, could have been one of 1,000 tricks.
Yeah, well, our job doesn't cover up a $100 mistake with murder one blanket.
So where does that leave you?
3 guys who left Lexi Gardner, or vice versa. That's what I'm playing with right now. You, Eddie Banning, and a contractor I don't have a line on yet. I thought you might know him.
No. I was out of the country. I got hung up in Asia longer than I expected. By the time I got back, she was already working the strip.
You know why?
No. I did a lot of thinking about it. Everybody wants to be something they're not. Lexi was writing lyrics and a lot of stuff that was worse than my backhand. She just wanted to be something she wasn't. Can't hate her for that.
Oh, nobody hated her. They just killed her.
Did you hear it all? Well, what do you think?
Well, I can certainly understand why you sent for me. I think you're in a box. If your public finds out that while you were supposed to be spending 5 years on a mountaintop with a guru, you were really rotting in a Mideast prison under an assumed name for smuggling poppies out of Turkey, I think your jet-setting days would be over.
I don't like it. Snowballing. There's got to be a way around it.
You paid me to come here. Look, Mr. Spitz, you and I both know what has to happen. Dan Tanner has got to be hit.
Pretty sexy for so early in the morning.
Early rehearsal. What's your excuse?
I'm gonna get my heart started at the pool. What's the matter, Slick?
Just a little restless, that's all. I didn't sleep much last night.
You got something on your mind?
I've always got something on my mind. How you doing with that chief suspect of yours?
Well, gotta keep digging. Eddie Banning's got something to hide, but I can't prove he killed Lexi Gardner. I had his man Timmy call and tell him I took the bribe. When he gets back into town, I'll have a little talk with him. And there's a contractor by the name of Virgil. He's got some information I want. But Slick, still think it'd be a whole lot easier if you opened up. I mean, I've got this crazy off-the-wall hunch that you and Lexi Gardner were more than just friends.
This town is different with the lights out. You should have seen this place 20 years ago when I first got here. I was down in them streets, hustling, bustling. Now I pass through this town like a tourist, man. I see what they see, the glamour, the excitement, the fun. Make ache the hard way. Everybody's got to be a winner. But every now and then, Daniel, I remember what it used to be like. I'll tell you something, kid. You really had to be tough to stay straight in this town. Keep asking me about Lexi. I never liked that name. I used to call her Alexandra. Alexandra. She She sure was nice looking when she was young. Yeah, we were friends, all right. I used to see a lot of her in those days. I liked her a lot, Daniel. Maybe I should have tried harder, I don't know. Or maybe neither one of us wanted to make any commitments. I was just too busy down in the streets trying to make a score for myself. I went down to find her, you know, when I heard. I saw her one night and I made a big mistake. I offered her money. I told her I'd send her back home to mother, bring her mother here, anything she wanted, you know. She never talked to me again. Should have tried harder. Come on, let's get some breakfast.
Dan? I've been looking for you out by the pool. They've been paging you every 15 minutes the past hour.
Oh, I was in Roth's pool, you know, and you still look very sexy for this early in the morning. Tana.
This is a friend of Lexi Gardner's. If you want to know what happened to Lexi, meet me in the service area behind the hotel. Now.
You set me up. I want to know, and I want to know now. It was Eddie Banning, wasn't it? I don't know what Eddie Banning. You know Eddie Banning. I don't know it. I was contracted by a tennis bum. Lou Spitz. Spitz.
Cockamamie singer Eddie Banning tries to bribe you, and Lou Spitz tries to have you killed.
You didn't know I was so popular, did you, Bella? Did you find anything in Lexi's apartment, like a manuscript? Something she was writing, a diary, maybe?
No, if we did, it'd be listed on the invoice with the rest of the items. Why the questions?
Okay, one ream typing paper, a typewriter, carbon paper.
So, her boyfriend's a writer.
No, her boyfriend does his writing at the Regis here in town. Bella, I want to buy some time before you put the alarm out on Lou Spitz.
Oh.
Now, what do Spitz and Banning have in common?
Just Lexi.
Right. They didn't even know each other except in passing. Now, a lady gets murdered. Two men from a decade ago go to extremes to keep me from finding out why. Now, they gotta have a reason. Now, William Virgil followed Spitz and Banning. Now, I'm gonna go see Mr. Virgil and let him know I'm digging into Lexi Gardner's past.
Dan, are you on to something?
I don't know, Bella. Every base I touch, someone mentions something about Lexi's writing, her poems, her lyrics, but it's always writing. I think that what she wrote down has something to do with her murder.
I'm on my way home. Listen, get a hold of my buddy, Dave Hadley in Washington, D.C.
Your buddy with the FBI?
Right, when writers don't have publishers, sometimes they register their work with the Library of Congress, and the best way to find out if Lexi had anything registered is through your local friendly FBI agent.
Well, I didn't think the public could get that kind of information.
Well, you usually can't be. If he gives you any resistance, tell him I'm calling in my marker. He'll understand. Now, listen, if he's got any material that on Lexi, have him send me a copy on the first plane coming west.
Dan, what's this all about?
I'll tell you when I get back. You got any messages for me?
That check on Lexi's address really paid off. She lived for 2 years in a house owned by one William Virgil.
Virgil, he built half the homes on the west side.
You got it. Well, right now he's building a new track outfit right outside of Henderson.
Anything else?
I checked with transportation over at the hotel. Your ever-loving singer, Eddie Banning's arriving back here in town tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
Good girl. How about Binzer?
Uh-huh. He left a message. He's doubling his fun at the DI.
I better check on him, and then I'll be right home.
Paging Mr. Cohen. Mr. Bert Cohen.
Hello. Hi. Just thought I'd check and see how you're doing.
He's cute. Why can't we meet him, Dan?
Dan?
Would you like to join us, Binzer?
Well, no, I don't think so. Can I talk to you for a second, Mr. Tanner?
Sure. Why don't you just sit tight and have a little business we have to discuss. Dan, please, don't break my cover.
Oh, well, your cover is not what I was thinking about breaking. Very cute. Now, listen, Eddie Banning is coming in tomorrow morning at 7 at the airport. I want you to be there, follow him wherever he goes. Every stop he makes, I want you to call me.
Call you?
Yes.
I'll call you.
Okay?
Every stop.
Good.
Thank you.
See you.
I'm sorry.
Dan.
Okay. Absolutely.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Angie, could you give me a glass of milk, please?
Oh, sure.
Oh, B, did you hear from Dave Hadley in Washington?
I sure did. I don't know what that marker was he owed you, but it sure got him moving. Yes, there is a manuscript registered under Lexi Gardner's name, and Dave said you'd have it tonight to read yourself to sleep with.
Ah, manuscript. Makes sense.
Here's your milk, Dan.
Oh, thank you, Angie.
Dan, what makes sense? What's so important about this manuscript?
Well, I'm betting that it was a novel, and I've got a strong hunch that it was a romanoclef.
Is that an Italian salad?
No, honey. It's a novel in which actual people are written about, but in a fictional disguise.
Oh, you mean like in The Greek Tycoon?
You said it, I didn't.
Then you think there's something incriminating in Lexi's book?
Well, 2 of the 3 men in her past have tried to get me off the case, right?
What about that contractor, William Virgil?
Well, if he is involved, I don't know. But I'm going to go see him right now and dangle a carrot right in front of his face.
Lexi didn't stay on in that tennis bum's house after he took off.
Where did you say you met her?
Party someplace. I can't remember. We were good friends, kid. Believe it. Now beat it, I got things to do. Hey, Al, don't be afraid you're gonna strike oil. Dig at least another foot further. This is a foundation, not a wading pool.
Lexi Gardner went from you to being the top call girl on the strip. That's a big step. I'm gonna be digging much deeper in that hole to find out why she made it. So if you've got anything buried, I suggest you ask Lou Spitz and Eddie Banning how good I am at scratching up old bones. For your information, Eddie Banning is flying in from Tahoe tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock.
Spencer, I don't want to wake him unless it's important.
Oh, so he's sleeping, and I'm out here dying. Listen, when you're hot, you're hot. And believe me, it's hot. Beatrice, please, I'm begging you, wake him up and tell him that I followed Eddie Banning to a construction site in Henderson.
Okay, bye-bye. Dan, it's Spencer. He followed Eddie Banning out to Henderson.
Fix me some tea, would you be, and a muffin?
What's in Lexi's book?
I've underlined the good parts. And so Virgil was a contractor in the book. 12 people were killed because he violated a building code. And Eddie Banning was poorly disguised as a singer who was very hung up on very young girls. Lou Spitz is a tennis pro who spent 5 years in a Mideastern prison for smuggling poppies.
Then Lexi was blackmailing them.
No, that's what doesn't make sense. I mean, from the portrait I've put together of Lexi, she just doesn't sound like a blackmailer.
He got a page at the airport. I don't know who he talked to, and then he came here. I think he's the only person here. There's no other cars here. Every now and then I just see him wandering around.
Okay, hand me my gun. All right, I want you to go off in that direction. Good. I want you to find a place where you can see cars coming from all directions. If you see Spitz or Virgil, I want you to scream, okay?
Dan, couldn't I do that here? I could honk the horn.
Get going.
I could do it there just as well.
Almost like games we played as kids, huh, Eddie? But from what I've been reading, your favorite pastime was 16-year-old kids.
Don't make a sound. It's a gun in your back.
I wonder what your fans will think of that.
Dan, why'd you have to get into this?
I was going to ask you the same question.
There are some things people just can't help.
Get rid of the gun, Tanner. You heard the man, Tanner?
Sorry, Dan.
Move, Tanner. To the pit.
Look, ideas like this went out with Prohibition, you know?
You don't give us much choice.
Well, why don't you let him go? He doesn't know anything.
Honestly, he never tells me a thing. I'm always working in the dark.
You know better. Get in, both of you.
Lexi was killed by one person. 2 of you are innocent. Why should you all take the rap?
all of us paid to have Lexi killed. Each of us received a call that Lexi was going to blackmail us. $50,000 or she'd go to the newspaper.
Are you telling me that Lexi called you? She didn't call. She used a go-between, a man. Wait a second. A man called to tell you that Lexi was going to blackmail you?
That's the way it went down. He said she wanted $50,000. And he said if we dealt with her directly, that she'd be coming back again and again and bleed us dry. Then he offered to kill her for the $50,000 apiece. One time. The end. Finished. Sounded like a good idea.
And you paid him without anyone talking to her. You're so dumb! If Lexi were going to blackmail you, why would you wait 10 years? It had to be a different setup. She wrote a book, and the man who called you must have known it was about the three of you.
What book? What are you talking about?
Lexi Gardner wrote a novel using the three of you as fictional characters. Now, the man who called you tried to get her to blackmail you, but Lexi was not a blackmailer. She wouldn't do it, so he murdered her.
You're stalling, Tanner. She was killed because we paid for it.
The medical examiner said that she was killed just about the time she tried to reach me, about 9:30 p.m. What time did you get your call?
About 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, congratulations, gentlemen. You paid for a hit on a dead lady. Conspiracy is not the same as murder. It's 2 to 5 years at the most. Probably suspended sentence if he cooperates.
Where are we going?
To nail Lexi Gardner's boyfriend.
What are you trying to do? You're gonna kill us.
Now, Lexi's writer boyfriend must have known she was writing a novel. Now, he had to be the blackmailer. He had to be the one who killed Lexi.
Miss Gardner, what are you doing here?
Brad asked me over for the day. What are you doing here?
Can I borrow your car? Thank you.
Nobody cares about me.
Too bad, pal. You just wrote your swan song. Click.
How can I ever thank you?
How about a kiss on the cheek?
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You know, being a private detective sure must be exciting, Mr. Tana.
Well, I don't think of it as exciting. It's just dangerous. Someone's got to do it, though. But I always have time to take care of an attractive young woman, especially when she's twins.
And Daddy promised us that we could come back.
He did?
Yeah, and maybe you could bring that really cute friend of yours and we could all go out.
You mean Binzer? He works for me, you know. He does everything I tell him to. But when it comes to women, he is very nervous.
Isn't that for you?
Oh, yes, it is. Thank you very much. I've only got 50s. I'll get you next time. Thank you. Hi. 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 I can explain this.
Oh, no need to explain. You remember me, sir. I work for you, Mr. Tana.
Right. Just forgot for a moment.
Oh, no need in reading that. It's from Sergeant Bella Archer. She wants you to call her regarding the damages to Mrs. Gardner's rental car. $685. Yeah. Yeah, she said you'd take care of it right away, sir.
Well, I think we have a little problem here.
Oh, sir, remember what you always tell me.
What?
We have no problems.
Only opportunities.